I'm so excited to be with you. I know that this year is a little bit different, but the most important thing is that we are still here, and I'm really, really excited to be here to help celebrate the Miss CHCA pageant again. So thank you so much for joining us for our annual Miss CHCA pageant. My name is Amy Gigline. I'm the District 1 Chairman. And today we're going to recognize and honor the strong, beautiful, and spirited residents nominated by our communities. These finalists demonstrate that regardless of age or ability, everyone can make a difference. The contributions of these inspiring women exemplifies that they are outstanding ambassadors in their community. Please join me in honoring our 2020 Miss CHCA finalists. Frances Lopez with Fair Acres Manor.
My most wonderful moment of my life was when I first met my husband. It was in the 1950s, around 1953. And the first time I saw him, I just fell in love with him. Love at first sight, like they say. And it was just wonderful from my life from there on. Every time I got a chance to see him, and it was just wonderful to know him. We had a lot of fun together. I was lucky that he felt the same way as I did, that he felt the same way about me as I felt about him. It was just wonderful for me. I never had been so happy in my whole life. From there on, every time I saw him, it was just like seeing him for the first time. I just felt so different inside from where I had never felt like that, so happy in my whole life. Never before. And from there on, I just was always anxious to see him every chance I had. And he lived in Sterling, Colorado. And my two brothers, they met Lopez, and they got along too. They got along real well. And I was happy about that because this way my two brothers could go down to the Lopez house and meet up with their sons. They had one son about the age of my oldest brother, and another younger one that was the age of my other younger brother. So they got along just fine. And I was happy about that because this way, whenever they'd go down to the Lopez family to see the young men, their friends, I would go with them too, and I would get to see my darling husband to be. Oh, he was just wonderful. That memory is always within me, even though he's gone. But I still dream about him and think about him, and he's just wonderful. It keeps me happy to have happy memories.
Emmie French with Golden Peaks Center.
Well, I was born in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. I'm 86 years old, young, and I was a nurse. I did accounting for 20 years. Before that, I did payroll. Then decided, when I was much older, I was the oldest one in the class, that I wanted to be a nurse. So I my job. I did payroll for the county. And I went into nursing. And I was the oldest one in. And after the first semester, I had a teacher who had been the director of nursing step down because of payroll, and she was so strict. I gave the guy an intimate, and he said, he could feel me tense up when the teacher stepped in the room. But after I got through that first semester, I thought that I could pass anything because she was so strict, it was unbelievable. My children are adopted because I was unable to have children. And my son lives in Jacksonville, Florida now, and my daughter lives here in Fort Collins. My son called me every Sunday.
Laurie Wool with the Gardens at St. Elizabeth.
Yes, I have had a good life, and right now I'm going to concentrate on, I think, my favorite one, and that's being an airline hostess for Continental Airlines for 26 years. And to start with, I'll start with when I started, the World War II had just ended, and we were receiving back into our fold pilots who had been fighting the war in England, over here, wherever it was necessary. Then they got retrained, first of all in the DC-3, the very smallest of the airlines that were working at that time. And yes, it was the DC-3. It was heads up, tails down, because it's landed like this. You got off, that's right, at the tail end, you ended and you entered there. And one of my favorite passengers was one that I encountered when I was flying between Denver and Kansas City. Now, this would be the multi-stop airplane that goes all the little towns. This little town I remember was Salina, Kansas. And the gentleman who rode with us was very interested in getting a job or doing some other work in Kansas City. So he hung around our little DC-3, which carried 21 people. And the puppy was there that came with the Salina, and the pilots were out there getting coffee for all of us. It is a wonderful job. You meet wonderful people. The little towns in Kansas was home to me because I'm from Nebraska, and we all got along beautifully well. The puppy barked when we entered, and everybody jumped up and greeted us. And that is the kind of an airline that we were, the kind of airplanes that we flew, and the pilots were well trained from DC-3 to the very largest ones. Thank you very much for listening.
And Charlotte McCarty with the Veterans Community Living Center at Fitzsimmons.
Well, one of the most important things I ever had when I worked in Texas, when my husband was in service, was I had a boss and his wife that was wonderful to me. I couldn't have asked for anybody better. I worked in a big cafeteria. I started behind the steam table, and from there I went in charge of the fountain, and from the fountain I went to cashier. So I was kept pretty busy, and I had a wonderful boss. I loved my people. I hated to even have to leave them. That's about all.
Hello, Miss Myrtle. This is Jack York from IN2L. We are so honored to be able to have a quick video clip of you getting ready to end your reign as 2019 Colorado Healthcare, the beauty contest winner for the Healthcare Association. So what has the year been like for you? What a year.
What a year. So many different things, and now what's happened to us, it just makes you wonder how lucky. It don't make you wonder. It makes you feel safe that you're in such a place, that they take care of you and you don't have to worry about getting outside. But it's been quite a time. Every once in a while I get a little gibber on the wearing the crown, and still celebrating.
Still
What a great day it was.
So what's been the highlight for you of being Miss CHCA?
When they announced that I had got it, and I think I threw my bouquet all the way home. I kept asking Diane, did I really? Is this really true? And her teeth were hurting her, but she said, yes, they're okay. It's yours. And just to look at it, you know, see it and feel it and know that I still can't believe it.
Well, you made a lot of people smile over the last year, including all of us at IN2L who watched your videos. So now we want to have this dramatic moment where you hand your crown off to Miss CHCA 2020. So go ahead, gently take it off your head. Oh, but you still are a queen. India, we're gonna get Miss Myrtle a crown so she gets to keep one forever. You've been our queen, so you deserve it.
Oh, wonderful.